Today, when we really get into this topic, we would like to talk about something about Diksha Mantra. So here Lord Shiva is telling the glories of Diksha Mantras to his consort, who is Parvati Devi. So it is said that Yada Chindamani Shresto Yada Gauscha Yada Sati Yada Tvijo Yada Ganga Tadasau Mantra Uttamaha Yadavat Akila Shrestam Yada Sastram tu Vaishnavam Yada Sushamkrita Vani Tadasau Mantra Uttamaha Atomaya Sureshani Pratyaham Japyate Manuhu Nitena Satrishaha Kachit Jagati Asmin Charachara. So this is actually a very long sloka, but it is what it is saying is, just as the philosopher's stone is the best of all jewels, just as the cow is the best of all the beasts, four-legged animals, just as Sati is the best among women, just as the Brahmin is the best of human beings, and just as the Ganges is the best among rivers, so too is this mantra the best of all the mantras. Just as the Vaishnava scriptures are the best among all the scriptures, and just as the Sanskrit language is the supreme among all the languages, as too is the best of all mantras. Therefore, O Queen of Goddess, I daily chant this mantra. There is nothing like this in this entire universe. So, just by chanting Vishnu mantra, Indra regained his position of king of demigods after his curses. So this is basically, we are actually going through the power of the Vishnu mantras. Vishnu mantras are those including the Diksha mantra and also in general any mantra that Guru gives. So it is said that Vishnu mantras can give one everything he desires. This sloka is from Sanat Kumara Kalpa. And so it is saying, Bahuna kim ihotena purushacharana sadhanai vinapi japa matrena labate sarvam ipshitam. So what is the use of all the other mantras and instructions? Simply by chanting Vishnu mantra, even without the strict restrictions of the Puracharana Vrata, one can obtain everything one wishes. What is Puracharana Vrata? We'll actually go over that. There are 10 kinds of purification that we have to do before we chant any Vishnu mantra or rather any mantra. So by chanting Vishnu mantra, one can obtain everything. So these mantras are given by Guru at the time of initiation. So 3 times a day at the Sandhya Vandana, that means in the early morning at sunrise and at the noon, and then also in the evening we have to recite that. I mean, recite means it should not be heard by anyone else. Only you are actually meditating on that. So now, to obtain the full benefit of the Vishnu mantra, these are the 10 types of purifications, and there are 5 kinds of vratas that we have to follow. So what are the 10 kinds of purification, which is called Puracharana? So what are they? Janana. Okay, I'm not going to go to the detail, but there are 10 of them. Janana, Jivana, Tadana, Rodana, Abhisheka, Vimalikarana, Apayana, Tarpana, Deepana, Gopana. And also there are 5 kinds of vratas. So that is described in this sloka. Puja Traikaliki Nityam Jabaj Tarpanam Evacha Homo Brahmana Bhuktischa Puracharanam Uchyate. So there are 5 aspects to the Puracharana observance. Puja 3 times a day, constant chanting of japa, oblations of water, daily fire sacrifice, and feeding the Brahmana. So these are very strict rules and regulations. But before actually these performing all these 10 kinds of purification is very difficult. Okay, 10 kinds of purification called Puracharana, and other 5 vratas very difficult. So what can we do? Is there any remedy? Anything that we can avoid? For that, the Shastras also give a remedy. It says that one can nullify the need of Puracharana simply by doing this. What is it? Atava devata rupam gurum dhyatva pratochayet tasya chayanu sari syat bhakti yuktena chetasa Guru Moolam idam sarvam tasma nityam gurum bhajet puracharana hino api mandri sityena samchayaha. So alternatively, one should satisfy the Guru by meditating on him as the form of the deity. One should think of oneself as devotedly following the Guru like a shadow. Like a shadow. Look at the figure. It's like a shadow. One should constantly worship the Guru, who is the basis of all of one's spiritual activities. Even if one does not perform the Puracharana, okay, here is the thing. One can attain perfection in chanting the mantra through service to Guru. Of this, there can be no doubt. So this is the power of Guru Seva. Everywhere in various scriptures, this is what we are hearing again and again. There is nothing equivalent to Guru Seva. Look at here, just by doing Guru Seva, you can nullify the requirement of doing all these Puracharana, so many rituals. You don't have to do that. So a Guru Seva overrides all the rules and regulations. This is very important. So now a question may come. All right, I have now taken initiation from a Guru. Now can I live anywhere without contacting him? No. In fact, many in the name of getting initiation, that's what they do. They go there, travel far away from somewhere, and then get the initiation, and then get back, and then forget about everything. There is no way of contacting, no way of associating with the Guru. This is no good at all. There is no use of that. So the Shastras say that in order to advance, one has to see his Guru daily or as often as possible. This is the requirement. We see this in the Jaiva Dharma also. That was the previous class that we went through. So there we really clearly saw that the disciples, after taking initiation, they even moved to near to his own Guru, so that he will be he was actually living along with the Guru, and then daily seeing Guru and then hearing the instructions. So this is the way. So also, some cases, they used to go to see the Guru as often as possible. So here the catch is, when one follows his Guru as a shadow follows the object, then what happens? Yada sitta rasa sparshat tamram bhavati kanjanam sannidhanat guroryeva sishyo vishnumayo bhavet. Wow, this is an amazing result. If one is following his Guru as a shadow follows the object and doing Guru Seva, just as a copper or a bell metal becomes gold through the touch of special mercury, there is a rasayana. The disciple gets the qualities of Vishnu through the association of his Guru. So how many qualities that the Lord Vishnu has? Lord Vishnu has 55 qualities. Lord Shiva has 50 qualities. Lord Vishnu has 55 qualities. And Lord Narayana has 60 qualities. And Krishna has 64 qualities. Here, by just following the Guru as the shadow follows the object, one gets the qualities of Vishnu through the association of his Guru. So when one is taking initiation, there are three things involved: the deity, the mantra, and Guru. Okay? Deity, the mantra, and Guru. Are they really related or they are different? This sloka answers that. Yasya devecha mandrache gurau drish api nichala na vyavat chityate buddhis tatsya sittir adurataha. Mandratma devata nyaya devata guru rupini tesham vedona kartavyo yadichet ishtam atmanaha. The soul of the mantra is what? What is the soul of the mantra? Whatever the mantra that we get, we are talking about here the Diksha mantra. So the soul of the Diksha mantra is deity. And the deity is a manifestation of what? This is the deity is manifest in the form of Guru. So a mantra is soul is deity, and the deity is manifesting in the form of a guru. So we have three things: mantra, deity, and guru. One should not make a distinction between these three things if he wishes to progress and obtain the real goal. So there is no difference among deity, mantra, and guru. So one should not think that they are actually different. But one may think that ultimately it's the Lord who is our goal. Why should we give so much importance to guru and the mantras he gave? Why do we need a middleman? For that Lord Krishna replies in Srimad Bhagavatam, Naham ijya prajati bayam tapaso pashamena va tushyeyam sarva bhutatma Guru Sushrushaya Hyata. This is coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. I, who? Krishna. Who is that? He is the soul of all the beings, soul of all the souls. The soul of all beings. I am not as pleased by the performance of the prescribed duties of the 4 ashramas, such as fire sacrifice, service to one's own family, observing penance, and austerities, and becoming a renunciate. No, I am not. What exactly I am pleased is, I am pleased only by service to one's Guru. Guru Sushrushayayata. So here comes clearly pointing to the importance of actually Guru and Guru Seva. Now we also understand that the deity, the mantra, the deity and Guru, there is no difference. When that kind of mentality, that kind of mood comes within one's heart, surely advancement is going to be made. Surely this is the last birth, and surely he will reach the destination. Now, so we have so far seen something about the Diksha mantra. Let us delve into the mantras and the holy names of Krishna. Many people are confused. What is the difference between Diksha mantra and what is the difference and Krishna mantra? Diksha mantra is actually what happened. Diksha mantra and Krishna mantra is actually same, but there is something called Krishna nama. So the confusion is, what is the difference between Diksha mantra and what? Krishna nama. Krishna nama. Okay, watch this sloka. For most of the people it will be totally confusing. Krishna mandra haite habe samsara mochana Krishna nama haite pabe Krishnera charana. So Krishna mantra haite habe, when you chant the Krishna mantra haite habe samsara mochana, you will be relieved from samsara. Okay, samsara, say Krishna mantra haite habe. If you chant Krishna mantra, that is Diksha mantra, samsara mochana. You are relieved from the samsara. But Krishna nama haite pabe, Krishnera charana. But when you say Krishna nama, not mantra, the Krishna nama haite pabe, Krishnera charana, you will get the lotus feet of Krishna. So by chanting the Krishna mantra, that is Diksha mantra, one will be liberated from material existence. And by chanting Krishna nama, one will attain his lotus feet. What does this mean? There are two things. One is, okay, watch very carefully, this is very intricate. One is flying away from here, taking off. The second is to reach somewhere, landing down. So we need both the things. A booster rocket to fly away from this miserable world, you need to escape. Even though the gravity is pulling hard, which is the samsara. So a booster rocket and a landing capsule to land in the abode of Lord Krishna. So without a booster we cannot go up. Like the gravity, we are pulled and kept under Maya and samsara. And without landing capsule, we cannot land anywhere. So the difference is, so what is the difference here now? The booster rocket is the Diksha mantra. The booster rocket is the one that is really those mantras, Diksha mantras given by Guru, which is the one which is really take us out of the samsara, out of this material world. Okay, yes, we have gone up. But then what about the next one? That is a landing capsule. The landing capsule is the holy name. That is the Maha Mantra. So there are two things. Diksha Mantra, which is by chanting, basically meditating, because you are not supposed to really chant in a way, anybody can hear. No. Okay, but Maha Mantra you can just shout, no problem. So there are two things. So Diksha Mantra is like a booster rocket that the Guru gives so that you can lift up samsara mochana. Then the landing capsule is the holy name, Maha Mantra. I am giving this analogy only for your easy understanding. So Lord Gauranga gave the capsule. But we need a rocket to put it on. That is the Diksha Mantras given by Guru. It is our duty to get a booster. How can we get a booster? Should I have to order it? Or buy it from Amazon or Best Buy? No. The booster can be obtained only by surrendering to a Guru. He gives the booster. The Diksha Mantras are the booster. It's a means for the booster. Remember that even for those ancient days, Vedic times, in the warfare, they were for the Astras. For the Astras, they were all mantras who were behind. Something like that you can think of. That mantras is the one who really make the Astras to really fly and hit the target. So by regularly chanting the Diksha Mantras, the booster is made. Stronger we meditate on those Diksha Mantra, during the Sandhya, in the early morning, and then at the noon, and in the evening, the stronger that booster will become. If we are not strong, if we are not really regularly chanting, regularly doing the Sandhya Vandana, what will happen? Even though the booster may be really getting made up, it will become like Apollo 13. It falls off. So, and by chanting Maha Mantra, we prepare the capsule. Now we can fly and land as well as on the abode of Krishna. Again, I am giving just an example. So Krishna Mantra is Diksha Mantra. It will make you to really get away from this samsara. And second is the one which will really take you to land in the abode of Krishna. Okay, this is just an analogy. I am just giving to you. So we can see some analogy from what the Shastra is also saying. If you remember in the series of Harikathas that I gave long ago about Srila Sanatana Goswami Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, where Gopakumara was asked to go from earth to all the way to Goloka, step by step, traveling through each and every plane. You see the picture in the middle. So he got the mantra from his Guru. In fact, Lord himself came as his Guru and gave the Diksha Mantra. While he was passing through each and every plane, he was mysteriously, eventually stuck in the Brahman. You see, there is a Brahma Jyoti in the middle. He got stuck there. It's like a big river. He was stuck, and then it was dragging him down. It was bringing him down. See the diagram? And he could not get out of it. He could not get out of it. Hello? I think there is some. Okay, and the other that one, all the way there. Yeah, mute. Yeah, okay, Hare Krishna. Yeah, okay. So now he got stuck in Brahman. See the diagram? He was sunken inside that deep river, the Brahman. This is what many people want to go and get and lose their consciousness and make spiritual suicide. But Gopakumar, no, his ultimate, his instruction was to pierce through that. He was about to lose his consciousness. But he chanted the Gopal Mantra given by his Guru. That worked like a booster rocket and brought Gopakumara out of Brahman. So once you are swallowed by Brahman, you are actually finished. The Gopal mantra we receive from Guru is the one who can take us off. So now let us talk about the Maha Mantra. What exactly does the Maha Mantra do? When we chant the Maha Mantra given by Lord Gauranga, it will develop a feeling of love in the heart. Without this intense loving feeling, we are not qualified and cannot land in the abode of Krishna. So the Maha Mantra gives that loving feeling. Krishna Nama Maha Mantrena Yehi Ta Swabhava Yehi Jape Tare Krishna Upajaye Bhava. The nature of the Maha Mantra of Krishna's name is such that whoever chants it develops the feeling, loving feeling for Krishna. This is what the Maha Mantra does. Here is another sloka that also says that all the Shastras say the same truth. Krishna Namera Phala Prema Sarva Shastre Kaya. All the Shastras say that the fruit of chanting the holy names is to develop intense love for Krishna. Love for Krishna. Love for, that is the only one that we need. Because even demigods are not able to get it. This is something very rare to get. That Krishna Prema is the most rare thing to get. If we ever studied competitive religions, as I do, every religion in one way or another is talking about Purushartha. 4 goals in life. Dharma, religiosity. Artha, accumulating wealth. Kama, enjoy the senses. And moksha, liberation or going to heaven. So it is like a progression. Eventually you get into moksha. But how good is this goal? Lord Chaitanya came to give the 5th Purushartha, called Panchama Purushartha. That is Prema, Krishna Prema. And how good is it compared to the other 4 Purushartha? The Janata, the Janata style goals. Krishna Vishayaka Prema Parama Purushartha Yara Yage Trina Tulya Chari Purushartha Panjama Purushartha Premanandamrita Sindhu Mokshadi Ananda Yara Nahe Eka Bindu. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prema, the love for Krishna, is the supreme goal of human life. The one and only real Purushartha. Real Purushartha. The other 4 goals of life are insignificant in comparison to it. This 5th goal of life, Prema, is like an unending ocean of ecstatic nectar. Ecstatic nectar. So in comparison, the joys derived from Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha are nothing more than a tiny drop of water. A tiny drop of water compared to the unending ocean of nectar, ocean of ecstatic nectar, not ordinary nectar. Now, what is the characteristic of this Krishna Prema? That is given in the scriptures. This is from Srila Rupa Goswami Pada, taught by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anya vilasita suhunyam jnana karmadi anamritam anukulyena krishnanu silanam bhaktir uttama. So I have really, this is one of my favorites in a sloka that we have really seen that many times. So the highest category of devotion, the prema, is defined as the culture of a favorable attitude toward Krishna, devoid of all the material desires and without any adulteration by monastic philosophy or fruitive action. So in pure Krishna prema bhakti, there is no trace of Mayavada, which is doctrine of monism, karma or yoga or jnana. All are thrown out. Only Ananya Bhakti can bring Krishna Prema. What is Ananya Bhakti? There are so many people in this world we can see. Their only purpose of life is to satisfy their tongue, belly, genital and other senses. They have mountains and mountains of desires. They worship any god and every god and think that worshipping of any god gives the same result. But that's not what Lord Krishna says. You worship only me. In fact, as in mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, while all the worships actually go to Krishna, but the result is different. The worshipping him only, alone, only him, gives a superior result. So demigod worshippers do not have Ananya Bhakti. What is Ananya Bhakti? Worshipping only Krishna. Like a chaste wife, devoted only to her pati, husband. Without Ananya Bhakti, there is no place for Prema Bhakti. What are the characteristics of Prema Bhakti? Anya Vancha, Anya Puja, Chadi Jnana Karma, Anukulye Sarvendriye, Krishnanusilana. A Krishna devotee will engage all the senses, all his skills, everything that he can do. He will do only for the purpose of satisfying Krishna and Guru. So only those things that are favorable for Krishna and Guru, he will do only those. He will give up all the other desires. He will give up the worship of any other gods. Anya Puja. Look at here. Anya Vancha, Anya Puja. No. And throw away the cultivation of this Mayavadism and any selfish activities. In this world, we can see so many people who do say that they are also Krishna Bhaktas. But if you examine their motive, there is mostly a desire, an expectation, whether it's material, spiritual, or both. They say Krishna will give me a good job. Krishna will give me a big house, and he will give everything. But Krishna will protect me. That is not pure bhakti. That is not the most pure bhakti. What is pure bhakti? Lord, who can actually explain all this? Only Lord can say that. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam krishikena krishikesha sevanam bhaktir uchyate. Bhakti is defined as the engagement of the senses in the service of the proprietor of the senses. These things, whatever the body or senses, whatever we have, nothing belongs to us. Did we really bring these body, senses, everything, all we in our plan? No. We don't have anything. Nothing. We don't have anything. So the bhakti is, that Krishna Bhakti means what? Engagement of all the body, sense, mind, everything in the service of the real owner. He is Lord Krishna. And this service is to be free from any contamination, from identity. See, because whatever that they do, they should not identify with the body. It should not have any expectation. That's what the key word here is. No expectation. It is pure through being exclusively fixed on me. Krishna says, Lord Krishna says. How? Unconditionally in love. Without expecting any favor from me. Okay, so this is a big difference. As I told you, many people are saying, I am also Krishna, I am also worshipping Krishna. But what kind is that? That is what the difference is. Ananya Bhakti. Now getting back to Krishna Nama now, it is also said that chanting holy names of Krishna eradicates all the sins. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukha Samanas Tam Namami Harim Param. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto. I bow down to the Supreme Lord Hari, the chanting of whose Nama results in the destruction of all the sins. And by paying homage to whom? The Krishna. All the miseries are vanquished. So, Holy Nama is so powerful. So, chanting the holy names of Krishna is the topmost. So, that is why it is said that Eka Krishna Name Kare Sarva Papakshaya Navavida Bhakti Purna Nama Haite Haya. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one is relieved from all the reactions of a sinful life. One can complete the 9 process of devotional service simply by chanting the holy name. There are 9 angas of bhakti. It is said in Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, Prahlad Maharaj is really saying this. So about these 9 angas of bhakti, which we covered that in the previous classes as well. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam. So those are the 9 angas. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, and Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Completely give the whole thing. But in this sloka says, Eka Krishna Nama Kare, one time. Okay? So it starts like that, but it says a secret. What is that secret? It says that just by chanting the holy name of Krishna gives all the benefits of following all the 9 angas of bhakti. So the chanting is clearly the topmost winner of all the 9 angas. So this is very important. It is also said that people in different yugas followed different means for perfection. But for this Kali Yuga, chanting of the holy name of Krishna is the one and only resort. There is no other means. Nama vinu Kali Kale Nahi Ara Dharma Sarva Mandra Saranama Yei Satra Marma. In the age of Kali, which is the current age of hypocrisy, there is no religious activity other than chanting of the holy names. The holy name is the essence of all the mantras. We have so many mantras, one for every god. But what is it saying here? Sarva Mandra Saranama Yei Satra Marma. All the Sastras say something, only one thing. That is the Nama of holy name of Krishna. So the Maha Mantra, that is why it is called Maha Mantra. Why Maha Mantra? Why not just mantra? All the mantras in Kali Yuga are subjected to the influence of Kali, the one who is ruling this particular yuga. Every mantra is contaminated. It's touched by the Kali, influence of Kali. Only Maha Mantra is not, is never touched. Nothing can touch Maha Mantra. It's so pure. So in the Kali Yuga, which is the most hypocritic yuga, we need a powerful mantra. That is Maha Mantra. That is why it is Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Also here comes a sloka that tells exactly what I really meant. That in different yugas, they were doing different ways for perfection. But only in Kali Yuga, this is Maha Mantra is to be used. Krite yat dhyayato Vishnum Tretayam yajatto mukai Tuapare paricharyayam Kalau tattari kirtanat. Srimad Bhagavatam. That which is achieved in Satya Yuga. What is Satya Yuga? That is the first one. In Satya Yuga, how they achieved perfection? By meditation on Vishnu. They are all meditating. Meditation was the main mean. And what did they do in Treta Yuga? Tretayam yajato mukai. So here, what they do? They were doing yajato. Yajato means yagna, fire sacrifice. So kritayat Dhyayato, Dhya means Dhyanam. About what? Vishnu, Dhyanam. Vishnu, meditation on Vishnu. Tretayam Yajato is by fire sacrifices. And in Dwapar Yuga, what is Dwapare? Paricharyayam, temple worship, deity worship. But everything is attained in Kali Yuga by just chanting the name of glories of Hari. We don't need anything. Just chant. That's all we need to do. So we recite this every time we chant the Maha Mantra. Harer Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasti Eva Katir Anyata. In this age of quarrel, and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way. There is no other way. There is no other way. It is said 3 times. 3 times. In the court, they say 3 times. Order. And auction also. 1, 2, 3. 3 times. That means it is said. It's truth. Final truth approved completely. No more question. No more argument. It is a full truth. And this is exactly what it is saying. There is no other way. There is no other way. Then you may ask, why then so many people are really running from here to there, here, there, all kinds of things? What can we do? What can we do? This is what the Shastra says. They are not following that. So, 4 yugas have different means for deliverance. But in Kali Yuga is the most difficult age. It is the age of hypocrisy. All the means of Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, all those means, if we try to follow in Kali Yuga, it is powerless. So we need the most powerful means for deliverance. That is the holy names of Krishna. Because only Mahamantra is the ultimate. So you have to go with the final astra, the silver bullet. Otherwise, it is not going to be defeated. This Kali Yuga cannot be defeated. We need the silver bullet. That silver bullet is that Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This has 16 names, 16 syllables. Iti soda shakam namnam, Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. So if we say these names, Kali Kalmasha Nashanam, it will be destroyed. All the effect of Kali will be destroyed. Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. Nashanam means destroyed. Nata Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. This is exactly throughout the entire Vedic literature. This is the only truth. That's all saying again and again. But how many people are really looking at them? How many people are following that? So there is nothing. Nata Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. Sarva Vedeshu means all the Vedas, all the scriptures. They Drishyate means seeing this. They are seeing that by the fact. They are seeing the fact. Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. Nata Paratarobhaya. There is no other alternative. Iti Sodashakam Namnam Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. So this by chanting the Mahamantra, all the effects of Kali will be vanquished. This sloka is from Kali Sandatarana Upanishad actually. So now so far we have seen that for Kali Yuga, the only and only means for perfection is to chant the holy names of Lord Hari. To inaugurate this Yuga Dharma, Lord Krishna in the mood of Radharani comes down to earth. Why Radharani? That is when the mercy is coming. Krishna is coming again and again. So many avatars, he is coming and going and coming and going. But what did he do? He killed somebody here, somebody there, and this avatar, that avatar. But then, what exactly he really contributed to the entire world? Not that much as here. Why this particular Yuga Dharma, the Yuga Avatar, who is actually Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is so special? Because Radharani comes only in his own body as the mood in this only avatar. So it becomes so merciful, and he comes and then opens the jewel box and freely distributes to everybody. And he comes to this world in every Kali Yuga. That follows the Dwapar Yuga, ending the Dwapar Yuga. When Lord Krishna appears in Dwapar Yuga, when he goes back, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes here. Avatari Chaitanya Kaila Dharma Pracharana Kali Kale Dharma Krishna Nama Sankirtana Sankirtana Yanyetan Re Kare Aradhana Seita Sumeda Ara Kalihata Jana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended to preach the topmost. The topmost. Topmost means topmost. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is topmost. Why it is topmost? Not because of that he is Krishna. Why? Radharani came in the mood. That is why it is so special. That is why it is the topmost. So in the age of Kali, the only religious principle is the chanting of the holy names of Lord Krishna. Anyone who worships the Lord by the sacrifice of the holy name is the most and most and most intelligent. Now, is there any rules and regulation for actually chanting his holy name, that Mahamantra? Because we studied that for chanting the Diksha mantra, there are strict rules to follow. You have to chant only at those 3 Sandhya time. You cannot just like that chant any time. And you have to follow that very strictly. You have to count on your fingers. 10 times each mantra, you have to really chant on it. Right? Very careful. You have to go through that. So, Sandhya times, 3 times only you can chant. Sunrise, noon and sunset. But is there any rule in chanting Mahamantra? Nothing. Ki bhojane, ki sayane. When you are eating, bhojane, ki sayane. When you are sleeping, ki bajagarane. Whether it is what? Both day or night. Aharnisha chinda Krishna balaha vadane. So think of Krishna and utter his names both day and night. Whether you are eating, lying down, or engaging in waking activities. So there is no rule as when and where to chant the Mahamantra. See the difference. What made this difference? Mahamantra was revealed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Radharani. Because he was so merciful, all the rules and regulations were taken out. Because he was so merciful. See, Diksha mantra have strict rules, but Mahamantra does not. And most importantly, what do we get from chanting the Mahamantra? Do we get lot of money? Do we get lot of fame? Do we get lot of real estate? Moon and Mars and all the places? No. What is the fruit of chanting Mahamantra? Krishna nama Mahamandrera Yehita Swabhava Yehi Japetara Krishna Ubhajaya Bhava. This we had talked about before also. This is the nature of the Mahamantra, consisting of Krishna's names. Whoever recites it develops ecstatic loving feeling for Krishna. So the fruit is Krishna Prema. As I mentioned, even all the demigods are not able to get it. They are weeping and weeping and weeping, trying to get it. That is why, remember, when we really chant the beads inside the bead bag, it is also to avoid these demigods come and then snatch our, the benefit of chanting. That's another saying. Okay, there are actually multiple reasons. Because they want to steal. They cannot. That is why we have to be careful. They are not able to get it. But why we are able to get it? Because we follow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu under the direction of a guru. So that is uniquely makes us qualified. So here is a sloka about the power of the holy names of Krishna. It is so powerful. Actually, what it is saying is the holy name is so powerful. It's not depending on anything else. Diksha Purachara, see those Purachara, remember I talked about which is required for the Diksha. So Diksha Puracharya Vidhi Apeksha Nakare Jigva Sparse Achandala Sabare Udhara. All the perfections come from the holy name. It does not depend on observance of Puracharana, the 10 purifications and 5 kinds of observances. As soon as a pure Nama touches the tongue of even the lowest class of humankind, it immediately delivers him. But then you may ask, then why do we need a guru? What is the need of all the acharyas initiating disciples? Here it is mentioned Suddha Nama. That is what is mentioned. But how can we chant Suddha Nama by ourselves? We can't. So we need a guru. So Nama by itself is very powerful. It doesn't need any, it's not depending on anything. But in order to approach, we need a guru. So you all may know the story where remember there is a Sabha in Brahmaloka. Narada Muni was not initiated that time. And everyone who really got a guru, they were all offered nice seats. And Narada Muni, because he did not have a guru, he was asked to sit on the floor. So this is the importance of having a guru. So only by accepting a guru and receive the holy nama from him, the Sutta nama can eventually appear on the tongue. By Guru Seva and Guru Nishtha. Otherwise not. Tato mandra prasiddhyartam gurum sampyujya toshayet yevam cha mandra siddhi syat devata cha prasidati. So in order to achieve the perfection of the mantra, one should accept and satisfy the Guru with appropriate acts of worship. By doing so, not only will one achieve the goal of perfecting the mantra, but also the deity will be pleased with him. Srila Haridas Thakura, you all know, he was a disciple and associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Even though he was born in a Muslim family, he was actually Lord Brahma. He was purposely born in a Muslim family for reasons. But by the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he developed the taste in Harinama from the very beginning. Harinama was dancing on his tongue all the times. He chanted 192 times, the rounds daily. That is about 300,000 nama every day. When Srila Haridas Thakura was beaten through 22 marketplaces for what? For chanting Harinama, because he was born as a Muslim. Muslim has no way of, doing all these kind of things. So they were torturing. They were whipping. How many places? 22 marketplaces he was dragged and whipped. Usually, nobody will survive. Even in one marketplace, they will be dead. Because they're all iron, all the things, it will tear of the flesh out. And even then they were telling, please Haridas, you stop chanting the Harinama, then we won't beat you. You can be alive. But what did he say? Kanda kanda deha mora jaya yadi prana tadapiha vadanena chari Harinama. You may be tearing my body into bits and pieces, and my life may leave it. Even then, I will never give up chanting the holy names of Krishna. So that is why he is a Namacharya. That is why he is our Namacharya. See, the title given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the only duty of us for getting this most rare human form is to chant the holy names of Lord Krishna and go back to him. This body is very rare to get. This should not be used like dogs and cats. So what we need? We need a bona fide spiritual master. Without the grace by Guru, there is no other way of reaching there. Remember the example I was talking about. You need a booster and the capsule. What good is that? Even if you have the capsule, you have to get away. So, Kiba Mandra Dila Goshani. Okay, now, here is another one which is really so interesting is, even though Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave all the means, the capsule, so that we can actually go back, did he really accept a Guru? We may wonder. He is a Lord. He was the one who really came to really give all these things. He was Lord himself. Not only him, Radharani also came. So even though he is a Lord, Lord Chaitanya took the mantra from a Guru, Sripad Ishwara Puri. But he was tricking. He was telling, this is the mantra you are going to give it to me. He was telling, is this the mantra that you are going to give it to me? See, he already gave the mantra. Lord giving the mantra to Ishwara Puri. And the Ishwara Puri is now formally giving it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then what happened? As soon as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the mantra which he gave actually, so he got it back again, and from his Guru, he started dancing. Kiba mantra dila Goshani, Goshani. Oh Lord, what kind of mantra did he give? Kiba tare bala, this is so powerful. So powerful, what kind of Kiba tara bala it has? Jabite mantra. When I do this, this mantra, when I do jabite means japa, when I really chant, Karilo Bagala, I feel what? I am becoming a madman. So he says, Oh Gurudev, what kind of mantra have you given to me? What powers does it have? As I chant this mantra, I feel that it is turning me into a madman. That is why Lord Chaitanya, all the time, we can see that he was always full of tears, torrents of tears, always coming out from his eyes, because this is why he came to give this kind of bhava. That is what the prema bhakti is all about. How many people are really even caring about all this? That is their unfortunate. So, this kind of bhava can happen by unshakable faith in Guru. So, please chant Hare Krishna and Maha Mantra and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, here is a summary of what we learned today. These are the facts. There are differences between Diksha Mantra and holy names. Diksha Mantra is very strict, given by Guru at the time of initiation. Holy names is also given, but it doesn't have any rules and regulation as the Diksha Mantras. So the Diksha Mantra is like the booster and the holy names is the lander. It is making to land there. So Guru, also we learned that Guru, Mantra and the deity are same. There is no difference. Because so from a deity, so the mantra belongs to deity, and again that comes as in the form of Guru. So there is no difference. This is how we have to meditate. So now Guru Seva alone can override the need of Puracharana. What is Puracharana? Rules and regulation. That 10 kinds of purifications and then 5 kinds of 5 aspects of observance. So now you don't have to do that by doing Guru Seva. Strict rules to follow for Diksha Mantra, that is Sandhya Vandana, I talked about that, but no rules for chanting Maha Mantra. Now, importance of shelter under Gauranga. Why? Because we are taking shelter under Gauranga. He is the one who really came to give this Maha Mantra free. And what is the fruit of chanting the Maha Mantra? Krishna Prema, which is the rarest jewel. Even demigods are not able to get it. So what we should do? I am leaving it up to you. That is up to you. Because if you are intelligent, you will accept a Guru. If you are dull and like a donkey or foolish, you will waste this most rare human life. It's up to you. So now to conclude, we will just sing a bhajan glorifying the Harinama.
Narahari namantare achubhavaha abhibhava sagare para narari shavani nara harinam sadare chintamani muhasara narahari namantare achubhavaha abhibhava sagare para Dharari Shavani Nara Harinama Sadare Chintamani Muhasara Yadi Krita Papiya Narika Bhumantraka Rajashavani Kare Pana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Balihayat Chudur Gama Papa Tapa Sahasrana Yadi Krita Papiya Narika Bhumantraka Rajeshavani Kare Pana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Balihayat Chudur Gama Papa Tapa Sahasrana Karaha Gaura Guru Vaishnava Ashraya Lanara Harinama Hara Samsari Namalai Sukruti Haya Tare Apa Mare Dure Chara Karaha Gaura Guru Vaishnava Ashraya Lanara Harinama Hara Samsare Namalai Sukriti Haya Tare Apa Mare Dura Chara Iti Krita Vishaya Krishna Pahu Nama Harayo Dharani Shame Bhara कल्मष कुमतिरा हल करगारा इति कृत विषय कृष्ण बहुनम हरयो धरणि श्रमपारा कुकृष्ण जगदानंद कृत कल्मष कुमतिरा हल करगारा श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद इति तत्कल्पच्च मंत्र हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नम हरे नानंतरे अच्युभावः हवे भाव सागरे पारा नर ऋषभनि नर हरि नाम सादरे चिंतामणि मोह सारा नर हरि नाम करे अच्युभाव हरि भाव सागरे पारा नर ऋषभनि नर हरि नाम सादरे चिंतामणि मोह सारा चिंतामणि मोह सारा चिंतामणि